Oh, Jesse, where are you? We're meant to open with Jesse. You have to call. You have to call back, dude. We had Jesse on and ready and all ready to go, and he's gone. So while he's gone, we'll say hello. How you doing? How's your Wednesday? Thank you for logging on. Jesse, you need a call back whenever you want, but it's fine. That's the beauty of... Here he is right now. Let's get straight to it. J Crag, where did you go, J Crag?
There we go.
Oh, there we Gone, just gone. I start the broadcast and you're gone. It's like, okay, great. Perfect. That's exactly.
I'm out. This is a prank. I'm actually not doing this.
This is how it's happening today. Everyone, welcome, Jesse. Hi, boy. Good to see you, man.
Hey, man. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
That's a pleasure. Let's get some fake applause in here. Woo!
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, my boy. Cheers. It is. It's a privilege to have you, and it's after what we've been through, it's
Likewise.
a privilege to be able to do what we're doing in general, bro.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. So
I feel to drink alcohol again, man.
that we got from a bottle store, yes, from a liquor store. That feels
from a legit establishment,
from an actual place that sells liquor. I don't know, bro. I can't believe that happened. I understand the influx in the hospitals. I do get all that, but sure, at some stage we do start feeling a little bit oppressed, baby. How close do you think we're getting to a nice little police state? I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you one of those conspiracy people?
I don't know, man. Look, I get it. I think it's, there is like empirical data that shows that not having alcohol does relieve the burden on the hospitals. So I understand that. I mean, I'm still going to be bleak about it.
Yes.
Like, I'm still going to want to have a drink.
Yeah,
but I get
exactly.
it. I mean, it is what it is. And South Africans, we like our drinks, man. And we have accidents and fill up the hospitals. So what can we say?
That's not good. Yeah, we mustn't do that. So, I mean, I guess it's about telling people to drink responsibly, but how do you do that? And especially now when you come out of it, now you've like created a monster because everyone's so thirsty and now how do you
Dying of thirst.
Dying of all them thirst. Hey, from California. Check at this. Hello there. All right. How you doing?
California.
Okay. California. Hey. All right. So I'm going to get into it quite quickly here on this side. And this is what I learned from last night's broadcast with Kurt that I think I may have accidentally cleared, by the way. So if anyone knows on Facebook how to retrieve stuff that you accidentally may have deleted. Fortunately, I've got the actual video and it is on YouTube, so I can always upload it again. But check out, look in the comments section. It's so bad. Let's check out. So
am I supposed to be seeing these comments as well?
No, you can't see them in real time unless you've got an instance open on like your laptop next to it. So if you guys look at that, check out this. I've just posted this comment on the comments thing. What I realized from yesterday is that you can't click on it directly. You have to copy it and then open it in a Chrome browser or any browser on your phone. So if you want to call in and be a guest tonight, that's what you need to do. It won't click in straight from the Facebook page. So that we learned yesterday, thanks to Curdy helping us out and being a guinea pig. And then if anyone also knows how to find lost interviews, it'll be wonderful if we could retrieve that. If you can. But the reason,
like we're live right now, but we're deleting it in real time as we're recording it.
this, you can never rewind this ever. This is happening right in the moment.
Yeah, as fast as we're recording it, we're deleting it.
Exactly, bro. So the point of it is, the reason I'm giving the link as well is just to let you guys know in the beginning, the same as last night. You guys can call in or you can put in the comments. And I'm so lucky, Jess. You know, we've all been hustling to try and find different things to do. Unfortunately, I've had these legends, a company called PayJustNow.com, have kind of jumped onto the feel good aspect of what this should be. And they are kicking this little show off by giving away $5,000 cash on every episode that I'm doing, which is
Wow.
which is pretty cool. I don't even think you knew that, so I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. But so what's going to happen is the people who call in, between the people who call in and the comments that we get, you get to choose. I'll throw up comments randomly, and then you get to choose who gets them 5 clips, courtesy of PayJustNow.com. They are, I mean, it's really rad. Like, hats off. Thank you so much for jumping on. On a way to support musicians while we try and do something unique and different. So they are very rad. I'll tell everyone a little bit more about them a little bit later. Here we go. So let's get into questions. This will be directed at you, J Crag. Check this one out for a rant. Can you read it on your phone?
Yeah. So when's your next gig? Jeez, man.
I know,
That's
right?
a good question.
Yeah, that's a great $1 million.
Yeah. I think that it's a little bit uncertain, obviously, and I mean, I think music is the one industry that's probably been hit the hardest in some ways by this situation, and we all have to be patient and understand the complexity of this problem. But I mean, I think things are slowly improving. I mean, I'm glad that the lockdowns started to ease up, and I had 18 shows booked for December, and I ended up only playing 3, and then canceled the rest. So it's difficult. It's difficult to book gigs because we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why we're podcasting. I mean,
Yeah.
this is that's the one. That's what I love about you, bro. You're a hustler, man. You have so many different ideas and things flowing around. It's such a cool thing about you, man. It's truly, I really respect that, man.
Thank you, boy. It's just called desperate survival measures. That's basically. This looks like it's all chilled and composed, but it's seeped in desperation. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate that. Yeah, bro. You know, we got it. It's wild that we've all been. Sorry, it looks like my mic is tweaking a little bit. This is all happening on the fly. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful understanding of how random all of this is. Yeah, bro, we've had to think on our feet, and who knows how it's going to be going forward. When do you predict we're going to be playing to more than 1,000 people again in outside somewhere even? Just go shoot, Red. There's no ways.
Jeez, dude, I don't know. Maybe October, November.
This
Hopefully.
year. Sure.
Hopefully. I mean, that is the most optimistic. I think most likely early next year.
That's kind of that's what I'm thinking. I know Cafe Rue. Shout out to them for being so supportive. Are already starting to open their little very like the mini little outdoor things. You know, they've got such a beautiful outdoor section. So I think they'll have it limited to 100. But jeez, man, I mean, how sad, bro. So check here. Here's another question quickly.
Yeah.
For any plans to come to the UK, baby? Michael Sinclair Lang needs to know.
Well, man. Same answer. I mean, as hard as it is, yeah, it's pretty tough out there too. I mean, that's the crazy thing about the situation, man. It's like, it's so easy to be frustrated in South Africa and to, we get down on ourselves, but it's really a global situation and everyone's in it. I have friends in LA who are experiencing the same thing, and we just in this we're all in this together, so
Yeah.
there's some comfort in that, but it is stressful. But I would love to be in the UK. I'd love to come play there as soon as possible, as soon as the borders open up, as soon as the vaccines roll out. Like, dude, did you ever think that you would be waiting on vaccines before you could play another gig?
Bro, it's not, and for the longest time until our president said it's not going to be enforced, I must say I was one of those guys, and I still think that we are going to move towards a little vaccine passport, going in the future. I can't see, I can't rule that out entirely. It was comforting to hear the president say that it's not going to be enforced, so that negates every time we get blazed and think the contrary. So, for now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they're going to avoid it, but I mean, I think that if enough people get the vaccine, then it'll like counterbalance the section of the population that doesn't want it. So, technically, those people shouldn't need it because there's people to create herd immunity. But I don't know, dude. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I never thought that we'd need that part. Like as if our passports aren't already tricky. Now we have to have vaccinations. I mean, but I mean, I guess actually, if you think about it, bro. I mean, I remember when I first got back from LA, I had to go and get a whole bunch of. You have to go and get your cholera and your malaria and you have to get all those jabs, and you did have to travel with a passport. Then I guess it's just kind of the same thing. Shin, I'm seeing you in the back in the green room, but just realize that I get to see your camera setup. So if it's not looking too pretty, I'm not going to let you into the conversation. I'm not going to let
Put
you.
on some clothes, man.
We've spoken about this. This is not the nude interview yet. That happens after dark.
That's the last 15 minutes.
Exactly, Ruth. Here's a very cool question from Sheldon. Check this out. Give this one a little nudge, and then I actually want to go back to what we were talking about.
Jeez, I don't know, man.
For those people who
would be podcasting. I mean, we're experiencing that right now.
For those who might only be listening to this, sorry, I just have to clarify that. What would you be doing? Yeah, if you weren't a musician, what career path would you choose? Okay, sorry, I have to just remember that.
So I think we're all experiencing a semblance of that right now, and it definitely makes you sort of think about those things in a weird way, in a way that you never anticipated. In my case, I did a law degree.
Oh, love.
So I think that if things really, I don't know, if I had some kind of strange change of heart and wanted to do something else, the most obvious choice would be to go into some kind of career in that, or I did an English literature degree, so I could be a lecturer, I guess, and just talk about old books. But this is a lot more fun than both of those options.
Well, that's the thing. Not a lot of people know. Audience limit is 8 people in Sweden. Sure, yeah. So we.
Oh wow!
I think we're actually.
But I thought Sweden was the place that didn't do the lockdowns. Has that changed now?
Sarah, answer us. Here we go. You might recognize this old name here.
Oh, there he is.
There it is. The crack. Okay, we got it. We got to explain that. We got to explain where J Crag come from. We're too deep. We're too far gone. Explain the J Crag.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, I guess me and Art. Well, we used to play PlayStation online together, and my PlayStation handle is J Crag. So if there's any PlayStation players, hit me up, yo.
Send them friend requests. That's.
I mean, like Art is the only one who uses that name on public forums, but I guess I'm going to get a lot of friend requests on PlayStation now.
100%, Brie.
And
it's
also
been revealed.
And the person who just commented is my manager, Roddy.
Yes.
Shout out to Roddy.
Yes.
Absolute legend of the industry. He
Correct.
was my dad. He worked with my dad. He's been working with me for more than 10 years, and you've worked with him. He's an absolute legend. So shout out, Roddy.
Big shout out to Roddy for sure. Cheers, boy. We should, Roddy, get the link. Call us, man. Are you joking? Okay, I'm going to put it on again. Just copy the link in the messages. Put it in. Let me check out this. It's really easy, guys. We've got Shin who's been trying to join, but unfortunately I'm seeing in the background that there's actually no video attached to your attempts. So this is the last time I'm going to have you hang out in the green room. It's quite a cool program, this. I don't know, for those of you wondering, you want to try and do this at home or something, there's a program called Ecamm Live for Mac. It's mainly Mac-based, and it's still extremely new, but it's quite powerful. It allows us to do this thing. Shin, it's a no-go, unfortunately, whoever you are. Sorry, but do keep trying. So, guys, the idea is copy the link and put it into your phone browser. Open up Chrome or Safari in your browser and use it as a link, and you'll see. Follow the prompts. It actually works incredibly well. So just copy and paste. So the reason we want to do that is we have 5,000 Rand to give away to you tonight. Jesse is going to make the final decision. So plead your case. I mean, if pleading poverty was a sport, I think we'd all be Olympiads after that. After that January, bro. That January clapped me properly, dude. I mean, how gnarly was that?
Yeah, man, it's been a wild time, man. I think, yeah, I'm sure everyone's feeling it, but this has been a very strange time. I mean, I was just, for me, it's like I haven't not played a show for this amount of time in, since I was like a teenager, man. Like, I mean, I've been doing this since I was, 18, 19 years old, and it was the first time that I've spent like 8 months without shows. And it's weird, like when you're playing shows all the time, you start to get into this like routine, and you start to think about playing shows as it's part of your work, and you have to go to the show and play the show and come home, and you get into that kind of like work cycle, and then suddenly when it's taken away, you actually realize how important live performance is to you on a personal level, and how much of an impact it has on your own sense of your artistry. I mean, as a songwriter, you kind of just, you're just sitting in the studio. It's such an abstract thing. Music is not, you can't taste it or touch it or see it. It's just it's in the airwaves. And so for me, it was like, when I get up and play my songs, it's the most direct version of like what I do.
Yeah, the extension of you. Yeah.
You have this direct connection with people. It's amazing. And so I don't know. I mean, if there's any lesson to take from that, it's just like, for me, it was really like, this is so important to me, and I love doing this. And it's just a reminder for me. Like, it's amazing. You only appreciate things when it gets taken away.
Yeah, it's very true, bro. Okay, so we got Sheldon. Oh, there we go. Sheldon looking good. Put some clothes on. Yeah, you got a t-shirt on. Sheldon, can I please ask you to just stand still for a second, wherever you are. Hold. There we go. Okay, and try not to have anything touch the microphone, and we are gonna attempt this. Okay, are you ready? Jesse, welcome Sheldon to the show. Let me see how I can do this. There he is. Here, Sheldon. Hello.
What's happening? How you guys?
Hey, what's up, Sheldon?
Oh, good. Oh,
hey, Jesse.
That's why I can't keep still. We've just noticed.
Got a noisy audience over here tonight.
That's okay. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
What's up, baby?
How you doing, baby?
Hey, baby, how are you? Finally, we can say it. We can say it and actually make sense. Thank you for justifying our silly humor. Sheldon, who've we got you? Where are you calling from, and who's our little buddy?
Little buddy's Caro Iggsy, and from the Boksburg.
All right.
The Berg.
Rad.
Oh yeah, Boksburg.
So talk us through that. Having a child during this time, how's that felt? What did you guys have to go through?
Yeah, it's obviously something completely different. But obviously we had to adapt, overcome it, and everything went so smooth. We had no issues with the hospital, the birth, nothing whatsoever. It was pretty awesome. Pretty
Beautiful,
awesome,
man. Congratulations, man. What a pleasure.
Basil Top Road, congratulations, bro.
So, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Very cool. Thanks for calling in and validating that the software even works. So that's very rad.
Well, there you go. It's nice to be a little test dummy sometimes.
There we go, Sheldon, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers to new life, man.
Here we go. Here's to you, bro. Here's to you, baby.
Thank you, man.
Lots of love, Sheldon. Take care, boy. Cheers,
love,
boy.
Man.
How cool is that? Sure. I've always been nervous to have kids before a pandemic. So yeah, it's gonna be a brave new world out there for new parents, and but everyone will adjust. Like part of me thinks, like I was having a chat the other day. I was going, it is weird, because if we really were for some reason crazy locked in, and even alcohol was restricted a bit, and we couldn't go and experience the festivals and the clubs like we used to. And I'm so sorry. Please don't anyone come down hard. It's just my opinion, and it's also because I'm old and I'm getting blind. So I'm allowed to say these things. I realized last week I'm blind, Jesse. You know how terrible that is. You're not that age yet. So wait, that's going to happen. It's going to happen still. But my
Like on top of everything, you're
Yeah.
also going to go blind soon.
that's what happened. That's what I got from lockdown. That was Kev. So, Kev, you can't go anywhere and you're blind. Well, it's just as well. But
So no, don't smile too much now.
exactly. So I've got Petra de Villiers in the green room, but I want to finish my story. I was just saying, for me, I'm very fortunate that I've had a lot of life. I've done a lot. I've done good. I've done bad, mainly good, bro. We've all just made mistakes and fumbled and bumbled along the way. Usually very good intentionally and all that. So I think it would be easier for me if that got taken away. But like you think about teenagers, like those poor. Well, I don't say poor teenagers. Yes, you have to be so careful in this day and age. The matric ragers, who couldn't have a rage and they all tried and then they got implicated in being super spreaders but like that's their matric year kind of ruined and going into early adulthood. How's the clubbing scene going to be? Maybe it's going to be different. Maybe it's going to be something that we wish we could have had like that as well. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if I get locked in the dungeon here with Jeff, cut relatively indefinitely, or if I can at least escape on my boat, I think I'll be okay. But I mean, it's different out there, for a whole generation potentially.
So are you saying that you are sympathetic to the matric ragers who didn't get to have a bigger party than they already had?
I'm not. Don't.
Because that party literally ended the entire season for us.
No, I'm not sympathetic.
That was literally an end of the world party.
You're right. It was ridiculously irresponsible, but it just shows you how desperate they were to still make a thing out of the matric rage and how we've skipped a year and maybe two because of them being selfish and doing that and ruining our industry,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that what I have sympathy for at least is like having to write matric exams during all this, man. I mean, like, you can't go into school, you're trying to do homeschooling. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who, I mean, I just remember my matric year and like, yes, that was stressful, bro. And trying to do it with all this going intense. I have less sympathy for the matric rage situation because I just think it was irresponsible.
that was irresponsible. All right, well,
yeah.
No, it was bad. Let's not hop on that too long. We're gonna get Petra de Villiers in as a guest, and she can tell us what she thinks of the matric rages. Okay, keep quiet. Petra, hold on. You're in the show. Hang on a second. Wait. Here we go. There we are.
Already?
Hello, there we are. Hello, Petra.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Hello.
How are you? Hi. Cool, man. I'm just telling my boy, I have a very amazing boyfriend, Marius, bro. I'm sure you know him. Very good producer.
Okay. Yes. Of course.
We'll be back in the music industry, or we're slowly getting back to it. I'm doing my first gig on Saturday. Oh, can't believe it.
Cool.
But
nice.
I don't know if you read the thing.
What a pleasure.
Okay, Petra, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, darling. It's very good to have you on the show, but we're in.
It's ADHD.
Okay, I'll say, okay. Okay, so
cool,
you were saying, I beg your
I'm
pardon.
just saying, about 18 years ago, I did Idols. So giving you the age away now. It was the second season, top 10, and we had South African Week. And I mean, I'm not going to tell you what the other choices were, but one of the choices they said I have is doing Just Ginger Like You Madly. And I had to choose that. So I sang the tune, and it was so awesome. The audience went mad for it, madly. And I'll never forget the end. I was like, I like you madly. It went up and went, I like you madly. Well, say, yeah. And I'll never forget, Rana was like, what's up with the whole rock and roll thing? So I used the Barney Simon line. I said, I couldn't help myself, and it was on live television. I said, if it's too loud, then you're too old.
Exactly. I mean,
do you want to hear his comeback? His comeback said, well, if it's too soft, then you're too young. I just thought I had to share it with you. It's a moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Now it's 18 years further along the line and still in the music industry, a mommy and everything. And it's a moment I'll never forget.
How wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story, Petra. That's really rad. And tell Marius, awesome. I say, how's it? And you guys hang in there and good luck getting back on the gig circuit. Thanks for all the years of love and support. There we go. How's it?
It's good to see you, man. Good.
You too, my brother.
Love for you guys.
Lots of love, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Big love, man.
So that's cool. So Jesse, I warned you. I warned you it's going to be random, and I mean, I think it's pretty cool. How nice is it to hear stories like that from people who are, also just
Bro,
going.
can I tell you a Just Ginger story?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, I remember watching you guys. I was like 16 or 17, and it was New Year's Eve in Cape Town, and I think it was like the first time I got like really drunk. I was like a teenager, bro, and like I just remember this show, and I was so blown away by it, and it was so impressive, and it was such a high energy vibe, and you guys did the whole drumming thing, like the drum solos, and it was just like so mental, man, and like now, like whatever, 10 years later, 15 years later, like I know we're mates, and Denim has produced one of my albums, and Bernie is my engineer, and Brent is, I see that guy often.
Yeah.
Just it's amazing, man. Like I feel blessed to be in some way a part of that story, man. What a vibe, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Thanks for sharing that. And like, because we're mates, it's so easy to forget that maybe that's how we first encountered, each other. But like that is so long forgotten for me, so it's very hard for me to put into context sometimes. And then you hear those awesome stories, and then if you think about that, this year is our 25th year that we've been together. 25. I mean, can you imagine how old I must be if that's actually the truth? I'm having my 60th birthday in March, by the way.
Cheers to that, bro.
No wonder I'm going blind.
25, bro. That's a quarter century, man.
Jeez, bro. I know.
25 more, bro.
I know. Well, yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows when and how we'll ever be able to do that again. It was such a time and a place. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I am. I'm going to broadcast that. Who cares? Okay, wonderful.
There we go. Classic Margate.
Shout out Margate. Love you guys. To think that this mug and
Memory Gate.
My gates. Oh my God. Oh Lord,
That's
dude.
amazing.
That is amazing.
I love that. Like coming on this podcast, it's just like crazy, like art fans, just like revealing things.
But that's about where are my J Crag? You see, you didn't put your gamer tag on you, bro. Otherwise, you'd be inundated.
Yeah, all my Rocket League homies.
Oh, bro. Okay, cool.
Man.
So listen, guys, the idea is call in randomly. You've already seen that we've had people call in. None of you have been calling in for money, which is pretty cool. So there's a couple of comments here that are asking. We by the way are able to, very fortunately, just out of the grace of however this has all happened with our friends, pay just now. They have very, very generously offered 5,000 Rand cash to whoever Jesse selects at the end of this. Let me quickly tell people how rad this company is. So what they allow you to do, it's an app that you just quickly download, and I've done it. It's super easy to do, and it allows you to pay for anything that you find in one of their affiliated stores in 3 payments. So you only pay a third the very first time. So if you want to go and pick up a cool pair of like hiking shoes or something from Salomon, you only pay a third, and then they give you 2 more installments to pay it off, interest free. I mean, that really is nuts in this day and age, considering how broke we are. It's completely interest free. They've made a deal with the retailers and the stores to somehow get some commission in there, whatever it is. So I think it's a rad initiative. I genuinely think it is. I've actually used it, and I'm going to use it again. So they've graciously said that we can give 5 grand cash to people who need it, and I can tell you, January was the longest 4 months of my life. It was ridiculous. So put your comments in here. JC is gonna be announcing this kind of at the end of the show. Who got it? Give your motivation why you think you need it. We all actually need it. I might load in here as an alias, and I'll just have to wink at you, Jess. we could buy that. We could put it down towards a PS5 or something like that.
Use your Rocket League ID. I'll know exactly what it is.
Exactly. So yeah. So you guys are welcome to call in. That is the idea. I'm going to put the link in the comments one more time. Please copy and paste it into a browser, and then phone in randomly. We've already had 2 legends call in. A legend with a baby. That's how we do it, baby. I mean, that's how we roll. Craigie, have you been keeping healthy? That is a question.
Yeah, somewhat. I started the lockdown very healthy. I was doing walks and jogs and HIIT exercises on YouTube and trying to eat healthy and cook and all that stuff. But and now I have one foot on the wagon, one foot off the wagon. I'm like drinking again and, eating some fast food now that the restaurants are open. I don't know. I'm trying to stay healthy. But exercise has been great. I must say, like being in lockdown and exercising regularly was so good for my headspace. I must say, it was like it was a really useful thing to be doing. So how about you, bro? Have you been keeping healthy?
Bro,
I mean, you've been on the open ocean, bro.
Yeah, I have, but that doesn't always mean. I mean, that just like validates drinking a lot of rum sometimes. Even though, as a skipper, disclaimer, I do not ever, obviously, if we're skipping a big commercial vessel. But that's kind of, it's not. It doesn't necessarily mean an immediately healthy lifestyle. And I think I'm definitely one of those people who used the lockdown excuse for a lot longer than it should have been. And I packed on the pounds, bro. And then recently, and with the help and the nudge and the motivation of like people like John O'Mankeys from Jeff Fitness, and just the people that you look at and then you feel bad. You're like, oh man, okay. At some stage, you can't use that card anymore. You do have to look after after yourself, especially when you check the research and you are one of the good ones for research and having knowledge of these things. When you realize that your metabolic health needs to be in good condition if we're going to fight this thing, and even then it's not even a given. So it's at least the best chance that you can give yourself. So to avoid to avoid trying to cut weight is not a bad thing. Just in general, if we while we fight this thing. So so I've tried. So about 2 weeks ago I kicked off with a 65-hour fast. I had only water, and I had, in the whole 65 hours, I had 3 cups of black coffee only. No
65
sugar.
65 hours?
Over 2.5 days. And I was just like,
dude,
that's it.
That doesn't sound healthy at all.
Google.
That sounds like the worst thing you could possibly do.
I promise you.
Eat donuts than do that.
No, definitely not. No. Guys, tell us your opinion on intermittent fasting. Tell Jesse that I'm not completely bonkers. It is bro, the theory and the science behind it. So guys, Google immediately. I don't have a Jamie in this Joe Rogan ripoff podcast attempt of mine. I don't have someone in the background Googling it. So you guys Google. You're all online doing it. But intermittent fasting is really good. It's healthy. I've done it, and every now and then I do 24 hours. So from 6 on a Monday to like 6 on a Tuesday.
But 65 hours, bro.
Bro, I was going for 72 or whatever 3 times 24 is. That's what
No one knows. No one knows. We don't know yet.
We've only gotten to 65.
Yeah.
That's the only data we have.
We'll see.
So the science.
3,000 yet.
So the science behind that is, and you can see, look at that. And this is my science cap on at the moment. Is that what happened? What happens is your body gets into a state of autophagy. How's this, Bray? How's me sounding really Lonnie? And that is an actual word, Mr. Reader of old books. It's called autophagy, where your body starts feeding off its own fat reserves, which for a hunk of love like me, that's a good thing, because instead of waking up and filling your stomach full of food, which it will feed off first, you make your body go, well, hang on, I haven't been fed yet, so what am I going to attack first? And that's your fat reserves. This is a fact. You can Google it. I'll be challenged on it. But intermittent fasting is real, baby. Okay. So that's what I've been doing. Getting a lot of comments here. IF is one of the look at this. I got a friend in Mandy Stansfield right over here. It boosts autophagy. You see, so, and that is on the internet. So it's a real thing. That's how you know it's real, because it's on this podcast.
It's on. I'm reading it. It's a text. Now I know it's real. I'm reading text.
That text is biblical. So I mean,
someone wrote that. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, I don't know, I don't know much about it, but surely 65 hours is a long time, though. I mean, so you're creating a situation where your body is so desperate for nourishment that
It's eating
it
itself.
starts eating itself.
Well, I need a lot of that.
I mean, I don't know.
I wish I had 3 bodies that were trying to eat my body. That would really help.
Try to diet.
No, it's not a diet. It's a way of
maybe
life.
just like one less donut.
So what I've done since then, apart from whiskey, just straight up whiskey, I'm having that, and just non-mixer drinks, no sugary drinks. And what I'm doing now to supplement that I've found that keto works for me, so I'm doing the keto thing, the low carb thing, and I'm trying to have it become a way of life. Unfortunately, these traps that I've created by having interviews with my mates is that, like, how would you not have a whiskey tonight? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a little bit.
No, we have to.
Got to have whiskey tonight.
We have to.
So
well,
that's,
dude, I mean, I've been playing squash. I've actually been doing a little bit of meditation, which is very unusual for me. I've like dabbled in it. Have you ever done any of that, like meditation stuff?
I have tried, like on one or two apps, but I do. My mind does wander, and I'm not convinced yet. I'm not. I'm open to it.
Yeah,
I'm open to everything.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same. But it has been a useful tool to just. I mean, I don't like the esoteric aspect of it. Like, there's a whole philosophy and stuff like that. But I really like the mental practice of just focusing your mind and being in control of your thoughts and having a sense of having a quality mind space. I think that's a good thing. It can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. So
playing squash.
So explain what your meditation procedure is. What do you do? Like, do you find a corner in the room? Is it immediately when you wake up? Like, how do you go into it? How long do you do it for?
Dude, not long, bro. Like, I just use an app. I use the Waking Up app.
Oh, yeah.
Another app that.
Who's the guy who made that Waking Up app? What's his name again?
Sam Harris.
Yeah. I had that. I did have that, and his voice is very soothing and relaxing, and I think it's cool. I've heard a lot of people. Use it. I might use it to fall asleep.
I mean, it's 15 minutes a day, bro, and it's just like a little bit of like alone time, a little bit of peaceful time, and he just talks you through like a breathing exercise, and you just kind of internalize, and you just make sure you're present. And sometimes your mind wanders, and sometimes it doesn't. But I always feel. I feel more aligned with myself in some way. Like, I feel more present afterwards, and I think it takes time. Like, it's an actual skill that you learn, and I think when you get very good at it, then you get to a point where you can actually observe the workings of your mind without being attached to it. Like, you realize that you are not your thoughts. You're just an entity, and your thoughts drift past. And especially after the complexity of the last sort of 12 months. And I had a feeling that, like, there's so little that we can actually control in our lives and in the situation we're in now. But the one thing we can control is our mind and our attitude and our sense of well-being and our sense of self. So that was kind of like a little kind of New Year's resolution for me. Like, I wanted to be conscious of the content of my thoughts.
Bro, that's powerful stuff, bro. And I'm not just saying that because Kurt actually shared last night. I don't know if you know, but he got clapped pretty hard. He was in hospital. He was on a ventilator, and when I spoke to him before the
really?
Yeah, bro, before the podcast,
Shame,
he was super hoarse, and because he'd literally been on the ventilator, and it was I was shocked. Obviously, Kurt is a strong boy, as we know, and but he was also just talking that he had a moment that he was at his weakest, that he was going like, there's nothing left for me to do now than to turn my attitude around and my mindset around. He would literally, I think he collapsed on the floor, he was saying, in his room. And he shared that. So that's why I'm supporting what you're saying. It really is weird, and we can maybe we can touch on this a little bit, because what has happened, what I've found, the new sub pandemic is obviously the mental health issue now, bro. Like, a lot of people are going to be affected by this for a long time, and I think it's a very powerful thing
Yeah.
to talk about. Remind them that you are actually in control of your thoughts, because a lot of people aren't, and they think they're alone. So that starts perpetuating as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me it was really just the like realization that this is something that you can control. You know, your mind is not just this freewheeling thing, and you just are just a victim of whatever kind of thought space you're in, and you know you have these emotional reactions to different things. And but actually, like you can, if you have mental discipline, you can step back and you can observe those things and you can get perspective. And I think there's tools you can learn to do that. And I think that's a good life skill, no matter what we're going through. You know, whether it's a pandemic or just anything. You know, any
Yeah.
relationships, work, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just got the sense that you know, if I mean the other thing is like, you know, we've got all this time on our hands. You know, use it constructively, like what you're doing, man. Like you're doing your boat, you're doing the podcast, you're doing your roof sessions. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing all this dope stuff, bro. Like you're hustling, man, and that's dope, dude. I really respect that. And like I think that you know we can choose how to fill our day, and if you choose wisely, you can still live a fully meaningful life and still challenge yourself, even in the current situation.
I totally
And
agree.
yeah, man, I'm sad. I'm sad to hear about Kurt though, man. And is he okay though now?
Yeah, no, he's 100%, and he's also he's back at gym, and he's strong, but she's bro, I've heard crazy stories of like long lasting side effects that are happening. So it's wild. We're like, we do have to look after ourselves more than we've ever proclaimed that we know we need to, like now more than ever. And a big thing that is now recurring
Yeah.
two nights in a row, and what you touched on again is the power of positive thinking, and that and you know, observing the mind and all, and you know, the power of that. So when Kurt said that, I was like, doesn't matter what medicine you can have, ivermectin or whatever people are saying we should have. I know, I know, and tell me if you agree. I know that in general, vitamin D, the sun, what else we have? Obviously, vitamin C is the best we can do, and you know, so there are the basics that we can have to try and cover bases, and try and have your body be in a bit of autophagy every now and then, a state, and just lose a bit of that baby fat. So these are things that we can, these are things we can do as a like a general thing, but we don't know. And at the time, if it strikes us down differently, which is what has been happening, we now know that it's as random as anything. Our last frontier of survival is what you just spoken about. It's at the end of the day, it's in your mind, and literally, if you see the list of things to do, having a positive mind frame, not delving into it too much, and talking yourself into feeling unwell, which I mean, since the pandemic, if I cough, I'm like, oh, there we go, it's done. That's it. I mean, and that's just and that's basically
Paranoia, bro.
that's what, and that's not even me on weed. People
Terrible.
don't believe that I don't smoke weed. That's a whole nother story that we can talk about. I'm literally allergic to THC. Everybody, I know people are going to be laughing hysterically, but I can't cope on that stuff for the pure reason that I would definitely be far too paranoid if that happens. So I'm just saying, you know, you need to you need to be very like. Yeah, you need to be aware of your thoughts, and not downward spiral, and that
Yeah.
leads now to depression and all
I
that.
think it's just yeah, and and I think that there's something so empowering about realizing that this is something you can control. You know, you don't have to. You know, you fall into certain thought patterns, and you sort of fall into like you know, bad habits mentally. You know, you can have a bad mental habit you'd have the power to change. And you know, it's not necessarily positive thinking. I think it's just self-aware. You know, just what is your mind space? Where are you at? You know, so I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's I'm not a guru in any sense, man. I'm just talking from personal experience. And you know, when I started the new year, we just canceled a whole bunch of shows, and it was like a bit of a stressful thing. And I was like, you know what? There's definitely ways of seeing this and ways of understanding this that are far more useful to me.
Yeah, and yeah, and that meets the eye. I'm gonna bring in Mark McCleary. He's actually one of the founders of this page just now. .com sponsor of the show. So thank you very much. He's he's also got some big life stories that have unfolded in the past. So let's have him on for a second. Here we go. Yeah. Hello, Marky. How you, boy?
Hey. Oh, world class, my man.
Hey, man.
How you doing, Jesse?
Yeah, good on you, bro.
You guys can Yeah, world class. Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of tenets of the conversation so far is that we've all got personal problems, and it's how we react to it. And a guy that I'm very close to, that I used to work with, old Bob Skinner, he always referred to a story that his old man told about hybrid vigor, and that South Africans take what's in front of them and they fashion a response to that issue in the most positive way. And so that's what I'm thinking right now, listening to Yoke's jam, is that we can all overcome this in our own personal way, with hybrid vigor.
Hybrid vigor. Explain that term. Like so unpack that. That's new. I've not heard that.
So imagine now that you're an artist in like Central Park, okay, and you're painting with pastels. But then imagine the same artist in the middle of Joburg who paints with pastels, but he runs out of pastels, so he starts using chalk.
Yeah.
But he still creates his art.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the hybrid vigor.
Okay, right.
That's the concept of working with what's in front of you.
Right. And
I think it's beautiful.
It's not only beautiful, it's essential. We've been left to find all these survival tools that we need to apply to our lives, because none of us have been spared of what's been going down to begin with. In the from the word go, we all had our challenges, and now with what's been happening, we've had to dig deep and find all these hybrid creative ways of dealing with it, of which positive mindset is one of them, for sure.
No doubt, bro. This podcast and your boat is hybrid vigor. It's reacting to a situation with the tools that you no longer have at your disposal, and saying that this is how I'm going to show my love to the world, and tell the story.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't think a lot of people know. Jesse doesn't know this, although it hopefully won't surprise you. But obviously, the boat's going to be attached to a big, like, a global awareness, some kind of profile. We've got to do it, and what better way to have a floating circus and just try and spread a positive message. For me, it'll always be about environmental change. I'm not a massive global warming conspiracist or anything like that, but the environment is in dire straits, and I'm a massive believer in in the David Attenborough narrative about we have under a decade to make a lasting impact, or we are beeped.
I agree
completely. So that is literally. And I'll share. I'm going to be very honest. That's the point of this platform. Is as much as I'm not even sure if it's going to be in time to make a difference, I'm still going to stand by that. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to spend my life trying to do that, whether it's through this podcast, whoever I meet, and then also on the flagship of a very impossible machine. We've got to have this kind of purpose,
Yeah, and the boat's namesake, the Impossible Machine. I mean, Ard, you know this. When we were creating Pages Now, I was listening in my ears, using these AirPods, to the Impossible Machine, because Pages Now is an impossible machine.
Yeah.
That adds value, whether you want to sort of recognize the value and use the value or not. It's either for you or it's not.
Yeah.
Just much like your boat, and much like the cause, of just like being good to people.
It's a definite feel good thing that you've created. People need it now more than ever, and hopefully we can make a difference in our own little way. So, bro, thank you for that, Marky, and thanks for spreading that positivity, and thanks for validating this little show. Thank you, Jesse, for being one of the guests that make this a reality. You know what I mean? And that's what bros do. And I think we have a cool little option to be able to give someone some cash tonight. So I'm gonna let us get back to the comments. Mark, love you. I'll chat to you later, brother. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Cheers, man.
Jesse. Good to see you. Ciao.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us, dude. Cheers.
Guys,
dude, I'm going to pour me another drink.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah.
Here it comes now.
Okay, so one more time, guys. In the comments, tell us why or who you think needs 5,000 Rand. You just had Mark McCleary from pagesnow.com up, just explaining how we're trying to make little differences in our own way. So just tell us in the comments live. Jesse's going to pick someone tonight. Going to get 5 of them clips. I like the one I didn't see, but someone was saying that they would make checkers vouchers out of that and give that out to people. That's pretty rad, and that's cool. So give us your reasonings as why Jesse should choose you, and you're welcome to call in. I'm going to tell you one more time that on this link, don't click it straight from the Facebook page. copy the link and open it up into a browser on your laptop or your phone. And you're welcome. Sorry, you're welcome to call. That's just a little bit of this, giving some love. You're welcome. You're welcome to call in and.
Tearing up.
I am. I'll get it all emo. I'll get emo, baby. Oh my word! So yeah, so that's it. That's the last time I'm going to do it. Otherwise, we're gonna give it away. And also, mainly, this is also about connecting with my bro, because the truth is, do you know, like, how did we take it for granted that we're just like, oh, I'm in Joburg, what are you doing? Nah, I can't tonight. It's like, I'm busy. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll probably be there next week, or you'll be in Cape Town. That's not a given anymore, bro. Every time we get the chance to hang out, is now we can start appreciating them. Have you found that your broader circle of friends has been a little bit more reduced, maybe even more so? I have.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, the one thing I have noticed is like, you know, again, it's like, you know, you only realize what you have when it's taken away. And I've had less like varied interactions with lots of different people, but I've had much more intense and engaging interactions with my close friends. And so it's been quite nice, man. It's nice to like rediscover like old friendships and also have something very strange to talk about. And also, you know, I think it's revealing. Everyone, you know, you see where everyone stands on things, and it's sometimes surprising, man. Like, there's a lot of crazy ideas floating around, and you definitely can be surprised, like, people you thought you knew, and then suddenly there's some wild ideas floating around, and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't know that.
Okay, what's okay on that note? Because remember, I'm just always going to be the one to try and find the humor in an otherwise dark time. Of course it is. But what's the craziest conspiracy that even the first time you heard it, you're like, that's nuts. I mean, like, just for all your common sense, and then you were proven right, or
Bro,
did you fall for it even for a second? Go for it.
No, I didn't fall for it, bro. Michelle Obama is a man.
Ah, that's yes. Are you saying that, or is that what you heard?
This is what I heard, and this is a proper conspiracy theory, bro. There is deep research into this. Like, there's people who have taken photos of her hands and have like shown like. But I mean, are you talking about a conspiracy theory specifically relating to COVID,
no, definitely not. Anyone, that's a good one. You're good. Carry on.
I mean, what? It's such a strange conspiracy because it doesn't affect anyone. Like, it's just like, okay, that chick's a man. Like, what do you think about that?
And so, exactly, who cares?
I know, who cares? And also, why are we even talking about this? And like, it's such a strange conspiracy theory. I just like it wasn't like it wasn't like I'm convinced by this. I was like, man, you're giving me all these reasons of why this person isn't what she says she is, and I don't know why. I don't know what the incentive. Why would she be lying about that? Like,
surely, former President Obama would have felt something, or would at some stage.
Yeah. He's a woman. I don't know, dude. I don't know,
bro. Well, we've just been joined by.
It's strange. What is your weirdest conspiracy theory?
Oh, bro, there's been so many. I think one has to laugh at. Okay, let me just quickly get someone in here if this works.
I mean, the 5G thing.
Look at this. Look at our guest joining us. Hello, Jeffy.
Oh, there he is. What an angel.
Look at that. Jeez, I've just revealed
there he is.
How cracked my chair is. From all them.
Look how happy that boy is.
Look at that. Look at the Jeff cam rocking.
Oh, look at that smile.
Hello, baby.
Wait, I want to bring Mr. Peanut Butter in here, bro. Where's my cat?
Go.
Danny, where's Mr. Peanut Butter? I'm going to leave the door open. He'll be in any time now.
Bring it in. You can go out. That's the show. You can go out and go and gather a cat off the street if you need to.
Should I go gather Mr. Peanut Butter?
Sure. I mean, Jeff and I can hold this, bro. We've got this.
Can you hold it? Well, I'll bring you with me.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That is the technology that we have.
I mean, we do have technology.
We do have, and we should.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, we got Mr. Peanut.
That's my boy.
Jeffy, say hello. Say hello to you.
Shit.
Oh, shit. There we go. Jeffy, say hello to your next meal.
He's very unhappy right now.
Say hello to breakfast.
Okay, wait.
Jeffy, what do you think of
There
your
we go.
what do you think of your breakfast that Uncle Jesse made for you?
He's
Oh, that is quite a good sight.
like, he is so sad right now. This is Mr. Peanut Butter. He's actually not our cat. He's the neighbor's cat who just lives here.
You should
He's
probably
a real
not.
sweet angel, though.
You should probably not be talking about cat theft on a live broadcast. You really should return. You should return the cat to its rightful
Dude,
owner.
this cat won't go home, bro. He just lives here. It's bizarre.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, let's get back to the less bizarre and talk about crazy conspiracies. Okay, the Michelle Obama. Okay, what do you? Actually, I think if we're being honest, we should open it up to Jeff. Jeff, I think you should shoot. And
Jeff, what you got?
And go. And
now.
And oh, okay.
Look how he just gazes lovingly into your eyes and just smiles.
He just goes. He goes. I know my dad's nuts. I know his friends are even are as nuts. And I'm actually
I'm not even going to dignify this conversation.
I'm not going to validate it by talking. I'm not going to participate right now.
Nah, I'm not dignifying this.
All right. Okay. Well, fine. Then fine, Jeff. Then you can just carry on being beautiful as you are. I want to ask you a question. What do you think about QAnon? What's up with them? Where are they going? Are they right wing Trump supporters? Is there any validity to this? Sorry, I'm throwing it out there. If you want to pass on, just go. I don't care.
No, I don't think there's. I mean, it's a fascinating situation. I think QAnon. I don't have any. I don't think that what they're saying is true. I don't think it's factually. I think that it's such a complicated and, it's so convoluted, and everyone has their own interpretation of all these things. And I just don't. I just think it's nothing but harmful, bro. But I mean, look, I haven't like studied the actual belief system, but I know that it is like if you were to put it up on like a wall and try and like link all the different things. I mean, the crux of it is that the Democrats are a bunch of child molesting cannibals who are controlling the world. That's literally the belief, dude. Like it's a pedophile cannibal cult.
Yeah.
And they're all in the Democrat Party on the top echelons, all these elites that have this ring of cannibal pedophiles, and they're running the world. And like, I mean, dude, I can't dignify that with even considering whether it's real or not, but I know that it just seems like a dangerous idea. And I'm someone who needs some kind of evidence before I can believe something as crazy as that.
So you actually literally need to see Michelle Obama's hands before you are convinced that.
Yeah. You need to feel them in my hands. What is your thoughts on that, dude?
On QAnon, I don't, or on feeling Michelle Obama's man hands. I don't know.
Somewhere in between.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I watch and observe everything as it's. I really don't. I don't dig too deep. I do watch some of it, and then I just use what applies to me, and I try and use as much common sense through all of it. But I tell you, our common sense has been put to the test, if ever before, especially with this, this all this disinformation that we have, access to, and just, I mean, it is crazy, bro. The one story is more outlandish than the next.
Yeah.
So
it's perfectly designed for conspiracy thinking, because there's so much information.
Yeah.
That it makes it difficult to actually know what's true and what's not true. And at some point we have to all agree on basic facts at some point.
Exactly. I'll tell you. I'll tell you my conspiracy. Okay. I do think Oh goodness, I completely messed the Jeff cam up. It was perfect, and now, oh no, I've made it better. Okay, I do think that whether it's intentional or not, the fact that there is so much information out there confusing everyone can be put to good use by those who are trying to control the world. Hold on, let me see. Let me check if this is still working. The world. Sorry, I found that button. I found that button today, so I didn't know when to bring it into the show.
That's amazing.
But you know what I mean?
That was perfect timing.
Thank you. But so if ever there was a time to start putting in a bit of or to start activating on an agenda, now's the time. People are confused as fuck. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Just
I agree, man. And I mean, on the one hand, it's like if there is a great conspiracy theory and there are people like, now would be a great time to make everyone believe one thing and do something else. But on the other hand, there's people who also profit from crazy conspiracy theories. And because there's so much chaos right now, it's also a good time to spread crazy ideas. And unfortunately, the whole incentive structure of the internet is based on engagement and outrage and people's attention. And what gets your attention is the craziest thing, like something that either you completely agree with and takes you even deeper down the rabbit hole, or something that you like violently disagree with, and then you can be outraged. And I think that incentive structure in terms of how the internet works is, it's just pointing us all in the same direction, that it's just everything is going to get crazier and crazier. And I hope that this is a problem that we can all solve together, because, at the end of the day, man, like we have to see each other. We have to see each other beyond all the chaos and the madness and the politics and the race and religion and culture. At the end of the day, we're humans, and that's the one beautiful thing about music, man, is that it cuts through all that noise.
Yeah, the true universal language, bro. I agree. So I do hope that we're going to get through this missing interaction, missing the fact that we took it so for granted. And also, not only that, once we do interact again, applying it differently, but also taking the time of day to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, instead of like a big thing that I've kind of dealt with in my life in general is like, I'm a strong believer in the fact that only you can take offense. You have the choice. You have the choice for everything. It's all your choice. So you can't, like, if you think about, especially our Joburg breakers and general South African men in general, like, so this is just kind of how we've been brought up to be, is like macho and bit of bravado. We've had to be so reactive in the moment, and often for good reason. It's defense and stuff like that. But what happens is that you start going into a place.
Oh shit! Look at this boy.
Oh hail! Oh.
It's Tigsy.
Oh, Tigsy. Welcome into his house. Do you hear what I'm saying? So like maybe now what we can do is we can go out into society and not be as reactive to everything that used to offend us from the word go. We can start seeing the humanity and the kindness in someone first. And if someone rubs you the wrong way, you can at least go, shit, it looks like they've had a shit day. Where do you think that came from? Instead of just going straight with it, like we used to and have done. Hold on, I want to do it like this. Oh, wait, I want to go. Shut. That just ripped everyone's ears apart.
I love that though, man. I love that idea.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? It's like just observing it differently.
We need more of that, man. I mean, in times of crisis, I think it's we need to have more compassion, not less. So it's I totally agree, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. So that's kind of part of the idea of the show.
Look at this boy.
Oh look at that, Jeffy. Jeffy, what do you want? Do you want ketchup with that, or are you going to use chutney? Look at you. Look how it looks up. Jeffy,
I'll kill you.
How would you like that? Would you like that grilled or grilled?
Jeff, we are going to fight to the death, baby.
In the nude.
Look at this thing, man. How do you hate cats, bro?
Jeffy, why are you?
Me and Art have had this argument for so long. Art says he hates cats.
I don't hate cats. Jeff's the one who eats them. How can I be the hater if
I don't hate them. They're delicious.
I don't mind cats. I just can't eat a whole one.
I like it on a kebab.
Are cats keto? Are they strictly keto? I've got to be sure about that.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I'm going on a cat fast this week. I'm going to try. I'm not going to eat a cat for
Eat less
65
cats
hours.
this week. It's going to be very tough.
Dude, okay, so another thing I want to ask you randomly is, what do you think of everyone panicking about moving from WhatsApp to Telegram and to all the other things because of privacy? I'll give my 2 cents about that. We are on, if you're watching this now on Facebook and if you on social media in general, everyone knows which way you are facing right now. So how is moving to Telegram can help? I don't know. What's your opinion? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree, dude. I think that it's, if you have a cell phone, never mind what app you're using, if you just own a cell phone, if you own any device that's connected to the internet, there are tracking devices that are following your every move and everything you do and everything you spend money on and every interest you have is being tracked constantly. I think that with WhatsApp, they were silly because they sent out this very harshly worded disclaimer saying that if you don't sign this disclaimer and if you don't agree to the fact that now we're going to share your information with Facebook, then you're going to be kicked off of WhatsApp and your profile will be deleted. I think that just got people's got people upset and frustrated. But Signal and Telegram, I think Telegram is actually worse than WhatsApp in terms of privacy, and Signal is. When smaller companies start out, they are super, they're super conscientious with privacy, and then as they get bigger, then their policies change. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that there's fundamental issues with the internet in terms of how the incentive structures work and how these companies make money. And I don't think it should be based off of them selling your information to anyone. I think that our privacy and our right to privacy is just being eroded all the time. So it's better to solve that problem rather than get off of WhatsApp.
No, well, I must say I totally agree. I do understand it. I mean, I try and hear all points, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I'm not changing what's already the most distracting thing of my life is this darn WhatsApp that just never stops pinging. I'm not gonna open a second way of communicating with other people who have chosen a different way.
But I love that about you, man. I love the fact that you've actually become really conscious about what is the actual mental impact of having this device with me, because it is so bad for you, man. I mean, that documentary on Netflix. Have you seen that documentary?
Yes.
What's it called? The Social Dilemma.
Yes, that's it. I didn't like the fact that they had such a strong movie asset to it. That kind of dulled it for me because, I don't know if you noticed, but in that, remember when the daughter broke that box that the mother put the phone in? That's the exact box that I have in that I use.
I thought of you when I saw that.
It's the exact brand. It's the exact make. And then she ends up.
I thought of you, bro.
She ends up smashing it. Fortunately, I never got that desperate. But that's where we're at, bro. So the other thing that I kind of always try and talk about and hopefully steer someone correctly after having made so many mistakes myself is one of my habits that I must say. While I'm still fighting the keto autophagy drinking exercise battle, one of the habits that I think I've kind of gotten into is my my devices do not make it into my bedroom, bro. They stay. So I've got this weird turret castle that I live in. They stay in the middle floor, if you even want to call it that, and they just don't go up. So what I do have is in order to not feel isolated from any form of tech, I've got the Kindle, and that's loaded up, and I can make the text very big because I'm blind, so that's rad as well. But I don't have devices next to me, and I do challenge people to try that, because not having that thing next to you, when you are having insomnia, you can't sleep, you're sort of doing this, going, oh, let me just have a quick scroll for 9 hours on Instagram. That's a killer, bro. So that is something that I've definitely done.
Bad, dude. It's really bad, man. And I mean, we're all guilty of it. I'm certainly guilty of it. I spend way too much time on my phone. And, there's also for us as musicians, I think that there was such a strange cultural shift, 2010 to 2015, where suddenly your content and your value as an artist was suddenly defined by your social media presence.
Yeah.
And that was the most direct way to connect with fans. So for us as musicians, there's also like a business element to being on social media, which is also unhealthy, you know. And you know, I hate to be like as an artist, I immediately have a suspicion about someone connecting with me through social media as opposed to my music, which is really how I'm trying to communicate. You know, like that's my deepest way of communication. So yeah, man, I totally agree, and I think that as I said, man, it's driving us all crazy. You know, we've got bad mental habits, and I think that the more conscious we are of it, the better.
I totally agree, bro. I think as long as we realize that these devices are an evil, they also are good because they're quite powerful. It's amazing that we have, you know, you and I are Joe Rogan. I don't know about fans. I definitely am, but we listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and we heard Elon Musk and I think a striking and scary thing was when he said we're literally cyborg already because we have this thing that is in our hand pretty much most of the day, like this at that angle. So we've already had our first implant of tech, to be a permanent part of us.
Yeah.
So we must just be aware. Like again, it's the common sense thing. Like just like I can genuinely confess that I'm a tech addict. Like the phone is a legitimate problem for me, which is why I've had to take steps, kind of like going to rehab. Except fortunately, I would like to think I'm in control of it by not going to bed with it, and also having a box that I can put it into when I don't need to, when I feel like working and doing that. That said, I'm talking to you because of tech and all these things. We set it up on my phone, so it's a delicate balance. I don't know what people's opinions are about that. Yeah, that's a good point. Use and abuse, D Wade. You know, is the yeah. I mean, that's basically where we're at. It's a crazy frontier, bro.
The impression that I got from that documentary was like there's so much financial incentive for these apps and websites. Yes, it's Tiggs.
Oh, take it. Not tonight. Not without dinner and a movie.
I'm philosophizing, Tiggs, please.
Not in the middle of a philosopher.
The impression that I got, dude, was like it's just like there's so much financial incentive for all these companies to like create algorithms that basically study your behavior and they study the way that you interact with your device.
Yeah.
And they do things to provoke you. And there's just this little thing in
little
your life
triggers.
that's just constantly prodding you. Just prodding you, just triggering you and trying to get your attention. And, you know, I could either put my attention into, you know, like learning piano or like writing a song or, you know, sending an email, or I could just be sitting on my phone and scrolling through Instagram. And it's literally this device that is studying you. And it's around you all the time, and it's watching you, and it's studying your behavior, and it's doing things specifically to trigger you. And that is terrifying, man.
Dude, that is very. I mean, it's all one huge big social experiment, which we're all participating in very free willingly. And I think it's also we must just almost even by conversations like this. I'm not saying this is going to change the world, but just starting to be aware and go, okay, well, you know, I'm already part of the game, but let's see how much of it is gonna control how much, you know, they want. So I think the ultimate point is if you see
dude, I mean, as you said, bro, like we're sorry.
No. As you said, go.
No, I'm saying like there's also like massive benefits. Like, you know, we're having this conversation right now, and it, you know, it's incredible technology, and there is something to be said for that.
Yes.
But geez, at what price, bro?
100%, bro. So there are comments coming in going as well. You know, kids need a need a tech detox. I mean, that's a brand new word. It's as brand new as social distancing and all things that we've never known anymore. And I quickly want to answer my mate in on the bluff, Zaid Eels. Shout out Zaidi. It's not
rum.
It's not rum tonight. Sorry, matey. I've done the whiskey train in.
I thought you were a pirate, bro.
I'm in the dungeon tonight, so it's a different vessel, and I'm just so sorry, Zadie. I will drink rum with you online soon or something. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Okay.
Go to artscabin.com and I'll drink rum with you.
It's a whole. Make sure that you stare at your device the whole day because
that's the other podcast.
Yeah. Where we just promote maximum screen time.
Yeah.
That's actually what we're pioneers
of. Drink rum.
Drink rum and look at your screen. We're trying to do a 65-hour marathon of just as much blue light in your eyes as possible. That's That's another website
So
altogether.
let me
which I'll
ask you
put the
something,
link.
dude. When
Yeah.
you're doing these tech fasts, do you
Yeah.
actually feel a craving? Like, do you actually like physically, mentally, like how does that craving manifest? Like, is there an actual craving?
That
Like
is,
cigarette craving, you know, like it's like a nicotine thing, or
Bro, that's a fantastic question. I love it, and I'll tell you what it is. It's gotten to the point in the beginning when I did it, and because it's got this weird little lock on it. Oh, I've got to bring it down here for future podcasts. In the beginning, you go an hour, okay, and you cannot get into that. If your house is on fire, long may it never ever happen, but you can't get into it. So in the beginning, I went, okay, 1 hour. This is how bad we are, bro. This is how far down that we don't even realize yet. Put it down 1 hour. I was like, oh shit. In the beginning, I go click and it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I go and it locks and you can't. There's no turning back from an hour. In the beginning, I was like, you're not gonna make an hour, dude. Like you are stuffed. How are you gonna handle that? So that was I'm talking like 2018 when I was doing the album, right, bro? By the end of it, the exact opposite was happening. Every time I saw the countdown revealing that I was just gonna open up a phone to a string of WhatsApps, all of which, and I'll tell you, 90% of them were completely irrelevant. None of them were life-threatening. I didn't lose any deal. I didn't not pay anyone on time. I didn't not help a buddy out because I missed a WhatsApp. Those who know me can get hold of me on email. I lost nothing other than gain my distraction. And it's now gotten to a point where when that countdown starts getting to like 5 hours before it unlocks, that's the reverse psychology. I'm like, I mean, the reverse anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that this device is going to come back and dominate my life. I want to also just share with you guys quickly. Let me see if I can put it. Yeah, bro. So ironically, check this out. Self-control. Actually, hold on. Let me rather get it on a browser before I put the wrong link.
dude, I need to buy one of those.
Bro, it's the coolest thing. I wonder if I should. I'll show you. But there's an app, okay, guys. So I don't know if it's PC or only Mac based. Okay, let me show you. The app is incredible. It's called Self Control, ironically, and basically what it does. Just Google it, Self Control, and what it does is it kills all your social media on your laptop as well. Because there's one thing locking your phone away, but then you can just run to your laptop quickly and go on. It can block your it can block your email servers and anything that you want. I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it. It can do anything, porn sites, you name it, anything that is a distraction. You put it on your naughty list, and it blocks it up entirely. You know, and I think, and that was again, it's something vital. Like you go down, and it doesn't matter what you do, you can't reverse. You can't reverse once it locks. It's actually a crazy piece of tech. I don't know how they got it right, but you can uninstall it. You can redo your whole hard drive, and you come back online, and the self control is still working. So it's only it's only got a 24.
It's a virus.
It's basically a virus. It started in China, obviously, and yeah, bro. So it's got a 24-hour window that you can hit it for, and it also just separates you from the outside world and allows you to completely focus. So check it out, guys.
It's
Google
crazy,
it.
man. Like I think about not having my phone for a day, and just like the thought of that, I would be anxious. Like there's anxiety attached to that, which is just so revealing in terms of how much addiction we have, and like. Yeah, but it's encouraging to hear that you actually got to a point where it was like, this is great. Like, I actually can't imagine this thing back in my life now. It's like actually an unwelcome guest.
Bro, I actually had reverse anxiety. I was like, I can't believe this is going to come back into my life. So now, quickly, a disclaimer is obviously it's very different. If you have a child, you kind of need your phone. So I am fortunate that Jeff is here all the time. In case you haven't noticed, he's actually here too often. Actually, but
yeah, it's actually the opposite problem. He's too often in person. He's around all the time.
It's the anti-love. It's too much. so okay. So here's my
Jeff is passed out there.
Bro, he is gone, bro. He's like, I don't need to hear about your gadget. Oh, there we go. He knows at least he knows his name. Jeff, do you want to go for a? Oh, that was terrible.
Oh,
I am sorry that I even
amazing.
he knows the WALK word, and I almost Jeff. you want to go for?
Oh, don't do it.
Okay, I won't. No, I won't because I will have to leave. Because if you,
Shame.
I have to.
Yeah, no, then you have to. Then the podcast is over. He's literally looking at you like,
I know.
don't do it.
Like,
Don't you dare.
don't you dare. We can't go for
Don't
a walk.
break my heart.
It's about to be out of curfew. Fortunately, that's gone a bit later. Where was I going with all that? I had a point. Oh, okay. So, in order to carry on the tech fast and the detox, if you do have kids, or anyone that you need to, like anyone doesn't have to be kid only, buy a burner phone. So I do have. I'm fortunate that I've being an Apple slave my whole life, which is another part of the whole confession. I have a few phones that I've had that I usually hand them to my mum and to someone, and I also use them in my kind of tech setup. Get a burner phone. We all know for those who don't know what a burner phone is, it's basically just get a separate SIM card, put it into a phone. I think it's got drug origins in it for sure. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
Gangster.
It's a bit gangster. But you can. So get a phone where you know that people can get hold of you. There's 10 numbers. You give them, you say, listen, if it's an emergency, which by the way, it never is. It very seldom is. Oh, I'm loving that. Okay.
Dude, please get me one of those buttons.
I'm gonna get you one of
My
the.
birthday soon.
I want to say a big shout out to Yamaha. I am going to say they have sponsored so much of this gear. So big shout out to Yamaha. Thank you. So I'm so blessed, bro. I've got so much love. You've also had beautiful love in your life. So we are amongst the very fortunate musicians, and we've also been hard hit as a result. So I can only imagine the plight of of just pretty much everyone. Which it's pretty hectic. So my point is, get the burner phone. Lock your phone away. And if there's people who need you desperately, first of all, email. Like, if you need me, I sadly, if I don't have the self-control app open, I get email almost as quickly as WhatsApp, and I will respond to it. Do you know what I mean? And so that's the emergency fallback. And I've not once, since I've started this little venture, ever gone back and gone, oh, jeez, I really should have looked at my WhatsApp on day 3. Never, not once. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what's the longest you've done?
I did 5 days, and I did 3 days recently. I was like Friday afternoon. I did it with Eileen. She was on here earlier. We're like, how about 3 days? We just like braai and talk and like read a book. Like, how about that? She was like, oh yeah, that sounds. So so she's got a son. She also realized that he can get hold of us in other ways, and you can do that. You can make your plans. But bro, the longer the better. You'll be so surprised the reverse anxiety that happens when you start seeing that timer going.
Yeah.
In 2 hours time, it's just gonna ding 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 ding. Even that very sound is from that show that you watch. It's been designed to cause anxiety. It's like those earlier cigarettes adverts where you remember that whole documentary about the marketing was around pictures of you at a dentist, which immediately caused anxiety, which made you want to have a cigarette. That's what that sound is to me. That WhatsApp sound freaks me the freak out, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude. I agree, bro. I respect you for diving into that realm, man. I mean, I need to get some discipline on that side. That's for sure.
Bro, give it a little, just give it a try. And like anything, including the intermittent fasting, don't start off with a 65-hour fast. I have done it before. Yeah. There's solid. There's solid logic.
150 hours. And you put your phone in a box so you can't get help.
You can't order food. You can't. I would say safely. I think you go 100 days without food. So I mean, look, I'm not a doctor. I think 100 days, no
100 days
phone.
Without food, 100 days without a phone.
Try and limit your water intake.
Chain yourself to your bed.
No water, like very limited water. I wouldn't drink water. And I think it's good. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that is in a word: healthy.
Okay, so please, obviously we're joking before the offenders get offended. What do you think of this world of offense that we live in, Jesse? But by the way, bro, I'm loving this. This is already becoming one of the longest ones, and I'm just loving the chat, bro. So thanks for hanging on and being so insightful, because I am going towards just the Joe Rogan concept. It's like, tune in and out as you want, bro. If we're chatting, it's kiffed. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's inspired a lot of us to realize that it doesn't have to be about the 10-second engagement rule like that everyone lives by. So you can come and go into the stream as you want. So what did I say? What do you think about? Oh God, before now it's the whiskey talking.
What are you reading? You said you had a Kindle.
Yeah, I am. Weirdly, I'm reading. Not weirdly, I'm reading a book about. Now I have to look at my device. It's about tech obsession and about. It's actually pretty.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is like a big thing for you, bro.
it is. Actually, that's a good reveal. Maybe this is an intervention. It's called Irresistible.
No, it's a good thing. I think
Yeah.
it's dope, dude.
Yeah,
I think it's dope.
it's
I mean,
called.
it's a fascinating subject, and it's a difficult thing to kick from your life.
100%. So I'll tell you right now. It's by Adam Alter. Check that out. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, my camera is so bad. I'm gonna have to do everything.
Just pixels.
It's written by three. It's made by Pixar.com. That's the. So Adam Alter, and the book is called Irresistible: Why We Can't Stop Checking, Scrolling, Clicking, and Watching. And this came out before COVID, and bro, it's a thing. It's an interesting observation to have, bro. We are in the middle.
Yeah.
We were in the beginning of a pandemic long before the other,
Yeah.
this new pandemic. So it's definitely an interest of mine. I need to get into some non-fiction, bro. So you need to, I mean, some fiction stuff. So you need to, so give us like 2 or 3 of your favorites all time. Like just lose yourself in fiction for a second. Can you? One or two that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm currently reading a book by actually a family friend of ours is a journalist, South African journalist, and it's called My Traitor's Heart. It's a fascinating book about South Africa, and it really gives on the complexity of our country and some interesting history as well. Like, South Africa has a crazy, interesting, meandering, weird history, and yeah, it's interesting to read about that. Another
Okay,
favorite
but that's historical, right? Is that factual?
No, it's a fiction.
Oh,
It's kind of autobiographical.
Okay,
So it's
right.
autobiographical. He talks about his own life. I mean, a great fiction by another amazing author, South African, is Waiting for the Barbarians by Coetzee. Yeah, love that book.
Okay, sick. Let me see if I can. Let me see.
I don't know. What's another one?
I'm gonna see. Waiting for the Barbarians. For the Barbarians
Coetzee,
by Coetzee.
Dude,
Here we go.
read that. It's very short, but it's fantastic.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the picture of it, and I'm gonna see if I got the technology. Oh, there we go. Waiting.
Dude, I don't actually read a lot of non-fiction.
There we go.
In fact,
is that it there? Is that
there
it?
it is.
Is that the one?
That's
Waiting.
it, man.
Waiting
Actually making a
they're talking about making a movie of it.
They've just made a film of it.
Oh, they have.
Well, it's
Okay,
being
right.
made. I mean, I've seen the preview. I think it's got Johnny Depp actually. Anyway.
That's sick. Winner of the Nobel Prize. That's rad, bro. Dig it.
Yeah, he won a Nobel Prize. South African author, bro. We've got some crazy talent here, man. Like insane.
And what about Dion Meyer?
And musicians as well.
Do you know Dion Meyer?
I don't know Dion Meyer.
Kathy van Rooyen.
I don't.
Okay, well, cool. Who knows? He might not be South African. Yeah, bro. But speaking of which, musicians, bro, we've got a wealth of talent. I think like what I'll share quickly, and you kind of joined in kind of in the middle of my trajectory. Is that in our day, if you want to call it that, and I hate having to say that as I pick up my specs to make sure that. Okay, yeah. In our day, you had to be, the vetting process was a little bit more hectic than it is now, as far as talent getting to a record company and getting onto radio. Can you? I mean, I know because you were in the forefront of that as much as we were to a degree, and but now anyone with a cell phone and a speaker can submit their song to Spotify. So how do we sift through the noise, to be honest, because there's a lot of crap, there's a lot of bad stuff out there. I'm not saying that in our day it was all brilliant just because we were picked up by a record company. There's also crap bands as well, of which any of us are not impervious to or immune to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's all just it's our perception of greatness. But now we are swamped by anyone and a microphone. How do you learn and how do you recognize a good song?
Well, I think that I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but I think that one good thing that is really a good thing about that is that, you know, there's not this obstacle in terms of like, you know, back in the day, in order to make an album, you had to have a lot of money.
Yes.
And I think that there were some great artists who maybe were not in a situation, you know, they just didn't have the finances and they just, you know, they just never pursued it because it wasn't available to them. So now there's like a democratization of music, which is quite amazing. And I think that we've seen, you know, young, talented people coming out of very obscure backgrounds who just have, you know, a great song and a phone and a guitar, and they can record it and put it out. So that's on the positive side.
On the plus
I think
side,
on the negative side, yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of noise. I think listeners more than anyone feel overwhelmed sometimes. You know, there's just so much out there. It's hard to know. And that's why, like, you know, what I think would be awesome is like great music podcasts and great music journalists and you know, like places to go where we could discover new music that wasn't playlist based. You know, like I think playlists there's something impersonal about it. Like I miss the days of like, you know, speaking to someone or being in, you know, recommended music by someone that you trust, you know, and there's like there's this connection with this person or with this entity, and it kind of leads you down this new path of music that you never went down. I think something impersonal about a playlist, man. Like, you know, you just sign up to like this week's playlist, and now you're just listening to like 600 new songs by, you know, indie pop artists, and like maybe you like one of these. Like, I don't know. That just I feel like I'm part of an algorithm. Like we're back in that conversation. You know?
Bro, 100%. And now it's also now you're listening to one person's opinion as well, potentially, if it's not the greater machine learning thing that you're talking about. So like we all like discovering things ourselves, and from a trusted confidant or from a trusted musician as well. But it's like we're losing the opportunity.
Have you discovered any good new music lately?
Bro, I'll confess right now, and I hope D is listening or will listen. The only music I know is because Denim suggests it, or you, or every time I come to your house, and we have one of our wonderful get-togethers, which are now seem like a thing of the past. I'm the worst procurer of my own music in the world, and my knowledge and
do you listen to new music, or do you mostly listen to like the stuff that you've always listened to?
I listen to whatever you send me or to whatever Denim sends me, and that is.
So you don't actually like music. You're not into music.
I'm not really a music thing. I've heard about it.
Yeah, don't really dig music. Yeah.
I'm very bad. When it comes to discovering new music. But what I know that I do dig, and this might be as controversial as the fact that people won't believe that I don't smoke weed every day of my life. In fact, ever. I wouldn't know how to roll a joint, and only my dearest friends know that for a fact. But the other confession is that I love EDM, man. I love electro music. Like I love going to a festival and taking a screwdriver and unscrewing the grill of the sub bass, and then crawling into it and then re-screwing myself back into it. Is that too soon? Is that too revealing? Are we allowed to say that in 2021? Who freaking cares? So I love that as well. Like for me, for me, music must just resonate with you as a being. You know, it must stomp your world to the core at all times. So I don't have my depth of music knowledge is a little bit scary. So I'm going to try and steer this conversation away from that.
Do you think that like? Okay, well, let me ask you one thing about that.
Okay.
Because I find myself in the same place, like in terms of my music taste. Like I often don't listen to music that's similar to the music that I make. Like I often listen to hip hop. I listen to like house and electro, and you know, I listen to music that is not in my wheelhouse. Do you think that you like electro or EDM because it's just so far away from what you do?
No, I think it speaks to me just on a very primal level. If you think about that thump, at a certain tempo, it's obviously been escalated quite a lot from the original banging of the drum when it comes to rhythm. But as a rhythmic being, that repetition and that hypnosis that comes along with EDM speaks to me on a primal level as much as melody does, because I'm a melody fiend, as as we all are. So as much as I love melody and that like will make me cry and it'll have a poignant, like there'll be a lyric that will change your life, as we all know, and will connect to a song. But that thump of that primal heartbeat of electro music, for me, I love it. It really speaks to me, and I don't care. Listen, here's a comment. Psytrance, it's so primal. You are right. It's a bit of a it's a little bit of a it's an acquired taste, psytrance, but I must say I've lost myself in some psytrance before as well. I don't care.
Yeah, dude.
I'm here to confess it.
Have you ever thought of making it?
No, no, because I do also surrender to the pros. Like they've got it. They've got different dynamics and filters, and I believe I could if I spent a lot of time doing it. I believe I could ultimately. Like I'd like to think everyone would have the faith to think that they can do whatever they want, apply their minds to. It's just not. It's like something that I just surrender and go, oh, thank you for that gift of me hearing that song and going, listen to those layers, listen where it's taking me, listen like how's that drop? I mean, how's that is just the coolest thing that I don't need to compete with in the sphere. I think I kind of went through a little stage where I was looking at getting into Ableton because I did want to go there because I've had a fascination with it for quite a while, and halfway through it, and weirdly and randomly, I went to my first Africa burn, and kind of in the middle of it, as we do when we've taken just the right amount of mushrooms, you're like, you have that aha moment. You're like, hang on, what are you doing, bro? You're a gap tooth singer songwriter, rock star, lucky, right time and right place, dude. Who the hell do you think you are competing in this level? Not that it's a competition, but kind of the process is like, you know what? Just let this be. Just that's a whole genre that you don't.
Just enjoy it for what it is.
Enjoy it for, and if you meet someone who like the vocal on it, then fantastic. But like as far as the production side is concerned, like there is so much good stuff out there. It's not something that I feel that I need to participate in or prove myself in whatsoever. And I had that moment when I literally, and I'll share. I literally, as software is concerned, I went straight back into going Logic Pro, $200, and I want to share this with people. $200 to have Logic. It comes with 50 gigs worth of samples as a songwriter. Whereas Pro Tools you have to now rent, and Ableton is a whole language which I absolutely love, but I don't think I have enough time on this earth to decipher it correctly the way the proper guys have. And so I just went back to songwriting, and that was one of my processes towards going to Impossible Machines. Was also surrendering, no distraction. No third-party plugins as well. It's like, I don't need something that sounds better than already what comes with Logic. It's ridiculous what's already packed in there. And all that happens is we end up, as you well know, going, how's this bass drum sound? How's that bass? How's this kick sound? And how that snare sound? And you spend 4 days going, I found the right tone of something that we're never going to use in real life. Do you know what I mean? So that helped me.
Totally, dude.
Yeah, that kind of helped me just focus those efforts, and that's my story with it. Okay, so what we have to do.
It's nice. Yeah.
No. Go. Okay, we can go after that. It's nice. What?
No, I'm just saying. It's like we're songwriters, and we're quite like self-conscious, and we try to say something true and real, and we very much like in our world. But it's nice to just enjoy music as a fan, and not have to think about those things, and just be a genuine fan of music. And I think that when you deep in, like when you're in the middle of recording an album, for example, and you're like deep in that conversation of like, okay, what kick drum, and you listen to fucking 20 kick drums.
Yeah.
It's nice to I totally agree, man. It's nice to just like be like, well, I know I can't make this music. This is not my genre, but I love it, and it's doing something for me. It's so special.
Yeah, no, I agree. But you also just got to find your groove, find what works for you, and I think it's a cool thing to go through that process. But for me to become an EDM producer, just I've got a boat, baby. Like that.
It would be amazing.
That's like having a baby. It's like you can't do that. You can't do that when you're busy feeding 73 times a day. Jesse, what we have to do is we need. Oh, it's so cool. Bro, you can't see all the comments, but they're coming in, and there's such love for the show and even for this conversation, which couldn't make me prouder to know that like the people care about what we're saying. But I think it's pretty cool, because there's not a lot of people talking about what to me seems like it should be front of mind. So we're gonna do the giveaway.
Totally, dude.
We're gonna do the giveaway quickly, which means I'm gonna have to scroll back. And I'm gonna put 3 examples of people who've wanted the cash, and you could pick one of them. How about that? Okay, so don't try not to be misled by the
That's
first
good
one.
timing because my phone battery is about to die.
Oh shit. Okay, wait. Okay, let me see. Now this I'm gonna have to go back. Now all of a sudden I'm not seeing anyone who needs it. Okay, here's one. Wait, here's what Okay, here's Brian Perkins. Okay, let's read this. Here's what I do.
Pay it all forward.
I'll pay for it and give the waiters a guaranteed tip of R1,000 each time. That's pretty cool. Kind of like that. Brian Perkin.
Nice.
Okay, try and remember that. Okay, I've got
But
all.
then he must tweet us the receipts and show us that he's done that, and give us some closure, man. Like, I want to see that.
Yes, Brian Perkins. I'm going to use brand new technology called a pen and write you down in here. This is called a pen. Elon Musk invented it 3 days ago. Enjoy it. See. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. You saw it here first. Don't say. Okay. Okay, this one I liked. Catherine van Wyk. By 10 people, checkers vouchers. That's also very
nice.
cool. I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. Okay, we're going to do one more.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I like that. They're all very cool, and they come from the right place, and it totally comes from the right place, from pagesnow.com. Okay, one more time. Oh goodness, now we're going back into people talking about
Tech addiction.
yeah.
5,000 rand to the QAnon masters to stop the puppets from controlling the world.
That would actually be
Give
brilliant.
me that 5,000. That's all I
It would
need.
be brilliant. Okay, check out Michelle Shannon. This is close to my heart. Hintity hint from the Bluff to a rescue center. But Michelle, okay, so yeah. So again, we need I mean, with all of that,
Beautiful.
it's very cool. I think it's wonderful. The thing for us, because we've worked with charity so much in our lives, is we need to see proof of the results of it. So it's almost better to claim it that you just need it right now to get through your month, because then it's okay. So that said, let's go with trust. This show is benefit of the doubt based, and we go with our instincts. Which one of those 3 spoke to you at all? Oh, there was one more that I'm gonna bring up, Jesse. Sorry, there's a guy who I know very well, Anthony Struble from Hout Bay. I can't find his comment right now, but he said that he'll literally make up 20 vegetable hampers for sure. I've seen the work that he's done. Don't be deterred by that. I trust that any one of these people will do what they say they're going to do, because they have.
What are vegetable hampers?
Like food parcels for 20 families. You know what I mean? Like, and it comes from
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it comes from an organic place that I have first-hand experience with, from those rooftop things. So anyway, that's what it is, bro. What are you feeling, Brian? With the big tips for the waiters.
So we've got the restaurants, we got the checkers, we got the pets, and we got the food parcels.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, it's I hate the thought of any of these people not getting it. To be honest.
I know. I wish it was.
I feel like an asshole, man.
Hold on. I've just found the best one. 5K for a new chair. Angie, you couldn't have come.
That.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. I mean, if you guys look at the scratches in the back of my chair, you'll understand.
Yeah, that is.
The struggle is real.
Hot needs a PS5, guys. Let's help him out.
Okay.
Dude, I was gonna say, okay, well, this is my thinking, man. Like, I wish I could give all these people this money.
Of course.
I think that the waiters, I relate to that because I'm in the entertainment industry and I know the restaurants have been taking a hit. Checkers and the food parcels in some way feels like a like a more important thing, just because it's like people to actually get food as opposed to like a restaurant situation where you giving someone a tip. Jeez, man, and the pets, of course. Like,
Yeah, it's hard. It's
what do
tough,
you
dude.
think?
I,
Dude, food parcels, man. What do you think?
I love the food bars. I think that we should do something unique, and we're going to hold Brian Perkins accountable for what he's saying, and then we can also have a little bit further engagement on this podcast. I'm just saying it's your choice, because if he does produce the receipts of every time he's tipped a waiter 1,000 rand.
Well, how about this? We'll say, dude, if you tweet every time you do that, tweet and tag me and Art.
Yes.
And tag the podcast.
Yes.
And show us that you've done that.
Yes.
That would be an amazing feel-good story, and I would be so happy to know that that's gone to a good place, man.
I must say I agree. Even just as an experiment and as a concept, Brian Perkins, you're going to be held very responsible by everyone who's watched the show. I think it's no, really. I think it's great, because what happens, in this day and age is that the public become our watchdogs. Sorry, Jeff. The public are involved, whether you like it or not.
That's why Jeff's sleeping now, but he's lost his job.
Jeff don't care about no Brian Perkins tipping them. So, I mean, if you're in agreement, it's ultimately your call. It's your show tonight,
Okay,
Jess.
yes, let's do that.
Should he do that? Okay.
Man. And I want to see those receipts. I want to get tweeted. I want to give the podcast a nice feel good story. And yeah, man, hopefully some waiters can get some extra bucks to take home. That's a beautiful thing.
So, Brian, the next time you go to a restaurant, it's on your head. People are going to be watching. They're going to be following it up. Whether you tweet the receipt on these comments on this show, or as Jesse said, on Twitter or something like that, I think that could be a cool paid forward experiment. And you are gonna give the 5,000 rand that could have been yours. You're gonna give it to 5 waiters who are going to be very blown away, because that industry has also taken a big knock. So, Brian Perkins, I'm trying to find your text. I'll get it to you. Don't worry. I have ways and means. If I don't delete the whole thing altogether, like I might have done Kurt's. Fortunately, I wrote it down with Elon Musk's new piece of technology. Brian Perkins. That was one of the ones that came up. Don't worry. I'll find you. I think that's a great one. Jesse, thanks for being part of that experiment with me. It's rad. And I literally feel like talking to you until your phone dies, because it's been so engaging, bro. I knew it would be cool. And I think what should happen is it should just be an ongoing dialogue as well. It's like the same as, and I say it again, Joe Rogan. It's a poor man's ripoff that I'm trying to do. Is like, just let me catch up with you in a little bit. Like, how are you doing now? You know what I mean? This is not a beginning.
Yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love these conversations, man, and I think that it's always fun to just check in with each other and see what we're thinking about, and see what we're reading, and see what we're listening to, and just have an interesting check-in. And I think everyone feels that need to communicate, and hopefully some of the stuff we talk about is interesting to people. Who knows?
Bro, here's the beautiful thing. If you don't like it, please just click. Just go and watch something else that's been purposefully designed to distract you from being overtaken by the Bro, I'm going to use that. I'm actually only going to introduce you.
I love that.
Tonight's guest is Jesse Clegg. That's actually all I'm going to... Yeah. That's... Thank you for letting me test that on yours.
I love that. I'm on deaf, though.
Yeah, people are just logging off in droves here. So, Brian, if you are still watching this, make yourself known. Let it be known. There we go. Mark McCleary has just told you. support@payjustnow.com. A big thank you again to the sponsors. First of all, for validating the fact that something like this could actually be something that can be supported by legends like yourself, and just to the guests that I've had on so far. Have been awesome. Jesse, yeah, it's brilliant. I want to do this again tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm open, man. I'm free. I mean, as you know, my calendar's wide open. I think we've been through this already. Stop reminding me.
Well, then because of that. Okay, Jeff has just licked his paw to death. That's wonderful. I'm gonna stay on until your screen goes dead. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, I've got 10%, dude. It's literally gonna be minutes.
Well, boy, before such time, cheers. Thank you so much, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
what a pleasure, bro. And love you, dude.
Yeah, love you too.
I hope we can do this in person sometime, man. Let's have
No.
live podcast.
Hey! Don't make that weird. Don't make this weird now, bro. I mean, come on, social
Getting too
distance.
attached.
Put your mask on. Put your mask on. I don't know what comes through these cameras these days.
Yeah, I don't want to cut through the phone now.
Guys, on that note, I am going to say thank you so much, and thank you to not guest, co-host, friend, legend, Jesse Clegg. Enough said. Google. We're not talking about new stuff that's coming out. I hope there's plenty more. Long may you live. Long may we make music. And
well, let me just mention this because I haven't actually mentioned it anywhere.
Yeah.
I've just shot the music video for my new single, Speed of Light, and we shot it in Cape Town in December, and it's going to be coming out, I hope, next week, baby. So check it out.
Well, there we go, guys. Jesse Clegg and Jeff. Oh, hold on. Where's Jeff gone? Here he is. Okay. He's a moving target. This guy. He's on the hunt. He's on the hunt for cats. But that is it, guys. Congratulations to everyone who participated. Exactly. Jesse, love you lots, my brother. I'll chat to you soon, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, baby.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, baby.